Okay, so yep, this is the next step, and I didn't know if I want to put this all in one video or in separate videos, so I kind of broke it apart. But what we've got to do now is actually upgrade our Bodo. So we're going to use Python, and I'm actually going to open a command line for this. So let's open up a terminal. Oops, I'm sorry, that was it. Let's see if we get some real estate so you can see. What I might do is just do this, pwd. And let's just open up a real command line so we can get to it. Okay. So you can see it better. I'm sorry. We can always get to it. I don't know if this helps seeing it better, but I can say cd to here. Oh, where am I? pwd. I am. Cool. So maybe we can do this. Because usually bin is Windows, right? So source dot vmv env backslash bin dot slash activate. Cool. So now what I was doing is setting this into our environment. Now the thing I want to do now is go to pip install, which is already there, but we're going to do it again. Install Bodo 3 -t, and we're going to -t, and we're going to install it into a Python directory. Okay, so what this does is this allows you to do things like upgrade your I almost say DLLs, but update your packages and things like that inside your Lambda. So let's do an ls, and we should have a Python. We do. So, and notice it kind of popped up there for us. It's right here, and that is our Bodo. Cool. So what we want to do is now zip that up. So let's go back to here, and we want to first of all deactivate where we are from our thing. So deactivate. This gets us out of our, now this is all basic Python stuff, right? So this gets us out of our environment. So now basically if you're not in your environment and you're trying to install it, it's going to install it local into your machine. And the idea of the environment is I can add things like plugins and things like that, or, you know, as you just saw, I can add things and it would only be within this project and not affect my PC. So there's more to it, but that's kind of it in a nutshell. So now what we do I see the Python folder? I do. So zip, and then this again is just basic Python. So we're going to call this Bodo 3 layer update. Okay, and then .zip, because we're using Python 3.11, if you remember that. So we want to make sure that our Bodo matches that. Cool, there we go. Now that should have given us a zip. It did. And I'm just going to copy this to my desktop. Just make it easy to find. Let me move all this. And I'll just say copy and paste. There we go. And now let's go see if we can do this without me having to do something. So let's just close our API. Let's go ahead and open this back up. And what we're going to do is add a layer. So now if I go over here to layers and see I have some, there was one where I did it the other day, but I'm going to create a layer and I'm going to say update Bodo 3 Sunday build. Okay. And then we're going to upload the zip. And then here, desktop, we're going to pick it. Okay. Open. And then the only thing I'm going to do is you got to make sure that your Python matches what you've built it in. Okay. I don't care about this. That's fine. It's optional. So let's just go ahead and hit create. And that's going to create the layer for us. Now, again, you can do this. So there's things like pandas back in the old days, or if you're adding a different database connector, right? Things like that. So it's a way for you to kind of upload some of these. I don't want to use the word plugins, but if you don't know what they are, that's kind of what they feel like. But you want to make sure that you put these in there. Now, I can create a version, yada, yada, yada. Don't really care. But now let's go see if it sees our layer. Okay. So if I go back to here, let's go back to our Lambda. Sorry. Where's my Lambda functions? Back to here. And now we want to add a layer. Oops, did not mean to click on that. So if I scroll to the bottom where it says layers, I can now add a layer. And again, you'll see that there's these app config connections, a Lambda insights. Right here's pandas. I kind of mentioned that. Power tools for Python. But we're going to do a custom layer. And it sees the one that I did. Okay, that's why it's kind of important to do it first, and you have to have a version. So we'll say add, and now we have one layer. Now, what I like to do at this point, we're going to deploy this. All right, so now I'm going to go here. So we start with a fresh log, and I'm going to go to test. I'm sorry, let's go back to our code. I like to, you can create a test and all that stuff, but I'm just going to keep it stupid simple. Oops, that's not what I meant. So it kicked off an error because I couldn't find anything. But let's go back to code. Oh, sorry. I hate this little real estate window. I wish it was bigger because it makes it easier to find things. I wasn't in my test window. Let's go to file. There we go. That's what I wanted. I wanted this to pop up. So what I want to do is go to here, and we're going to grab this, and I'm going to paste it right there, and I'm just going to invoke. Okay. So now we have an error in the body. Let's see. It might be because, notice it came back so fast. So let's go back over here. Refresh. We should only have the one log now. Probably, I'm sorry, I shouldn't refresh right there. There's actually a refresh button. And we click on this. Now I can see what's going on. And I can come in here and see what my error is, right? So test right here.